When Kaito Ito signed the lease for his new apartment, he thought he had found the perfect escape. As a horror writer, Ajiko Buken, stigmatized property where tragedy had struck, seemed like a goldmine for inspiration. But inspiration sometimes comes at a price. One Kaito wasn't prepared to pay. You're our first tenant in a while. This building is quiet, mostly. I'll take that as a warning. Quiet is good for writing. Just don't let the history of the place distract you. People come here for a fresh start. Let it stay that way. Kaito narrows his eyes but brushes it off, grabbing the keys from the landlord. The apartment was small but functional. One bedroom, a compact kitchen, and just enough space for Kaito's desk and typewriter. It wasn't much, but for a struggling writer, it was enough. He unpacked his belongings, setting up his tools of the trade, notebooks, pens, and a laptop. Yet as he settled in, an unease began to creep in. The air felt heavy, the silence too still, like the walls themselves held a memory that was waiting to resurface. Perfect. Just the right kind of creepy. Kaito's chuckle fades as he pauses, noticing the room feels colder near the window. He shrugs it off and continues unpacking. For Kaito, this was exactly what he needed, or so he thought. The whispers of the past lingered in the shadows, waiting patiently for their moment to be heard. Kaito worked late into the night, his pen scratching across paper. But just as he hit his creative stride, the noises started. Soft thuds, the sound of something scraping against the floor, and faint whispers. Must be the neighbors. Thin walls, I guess. Hey, can you keep it down over there? The noises stopped abruptly, leaving an unsettling silence. Kaito shook his head and tried to focus, but the unease lingered. The next day, curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to meet his noisy neighbor. Kaito knocked on the door of the neighboring apartment, waiting for a response. But there was no answer, not even the sound of movement inside. He knocked again, harder this time, but the stillness remained. The thought crept into his mind. Was the neighbor deliberately ignoring him, or was something else at play? Weird. I could have sworn I heard something. Shaking off the discomfort, Kaito returned to his apartment, unaware that the mystery was only beginning to unfold. Kaito approached the landlord to complain, but what he learned only deepened the mystery. The person next door is loud. Can you ask them to keep it down at night? Next door? There's no one there. That apartment has been empty for months. But I heard someone. Every night there's noise, footsteps, even whispers. I don't know what to tell you. No one has rented that unit since the incident. The landlord's words echoed in Kaito's mind. What incident? His curiosity turned to dread, but he couldn't ignore the noises. Determined to uncover the truth, Kaito began researching the apartment's history. It didn't take long to find something chilling. Newspaper articles about a tenant who had mysteriously gone missing from that very unit a year ago. The details were sparse, but unsettling. Police suspect foul play but have found no leads. The case remains unsolved. Kaito stared at the article, his pulse quickening. The photo of the missing tenant, a young woman with a faint smile, seemed to look right through him. The whispers he had heard now felt more sinister, less like noise and more like a plea for help. What the? Someone or something seemed to be watching him now, and Kaito had no idea how deep the mystery would take him. That night, the noises returned. But this time, Kaito was prepared. He crept into the dimly lit hallway, his heart pounding, pressing his ear to the neighboring apartment door. I know someone's in there. Kaito hesitated, every instinct screaming at him to turn back. But curiosity, and something deeper, perhaps guilt, drove him forward. He stepped inside, his flashlight cutting through the darkness like a knife. The room was cold and barren, save for two unsettling details: faint red stains smeared across the floor and a pile of dust-covered belongings shoved haphazardly into the corner. This is evidence. Kaito lifts a blood-stained knife into the beam of his flashlight. The knife was old and rusted, its handle worn, but the stains were unmistakable. Kaito's breath quickened as the realization hit him. This wasn't just a mystery. It was a crime scene. "Someone's coming." Kaito froze, clutching the knife as the sound of footsteps grew louder. Whoever, or whatever, was responsible for the noises was now just outside the door. And for the first time, Kaito wished he had left the mystery alone. As Kaito turned to leave, he felt it. A presence. Not a ghost, but something far more dangerous. His pulse raced as the air seemed to thicken around him. "I was hoping no one would notice." "Who's there?" From the shadows emerged a figure, a man with cold, calculating eyes and a chilling calmness that froze Kaito in place. "You shouldn't have come here. I was just cleaning up, making sure no one finds out." "Stay back. I'll call the police." "Go ahead, but you won't get the chance." Kaito's mind raced for an escape as the man raised the knife, his expression devoid of remorse. This wasn't just a fight for survival. It was a race against time. "Get away from me." The man stumbling but recovering quickly, his footsteps advancing again. A distant siren wailing faintly, growing louder. In the chaos, Kaito seized his only chance, darting toward the door as the man lunged forward. The sound of sirens in the distance offered a sliver of hope, but the danger was far from over. Kaito escapes into the hallway, heavy footsteps pursuing him, then abruptly stopping as the man retreats into the apartment. Kaito's heart pounded as he raced to the building's exit, the weight of the knife still fresh in his hand. The truth he uncovered was more terrifying than any ghost. It was human evil, unmasked. Kaito barely escaped with his life, alerting the authorities just in time. The killer was arrested, and the missing tenant's tragic story finally came to light. A tale of betrayal and violence that had haunted the building for months. Kaito returns to his apartment to pack. He thought he had survived the worst. With the killer in custody, the nightmare seemed to be over, but the weight of what he had experienced lingered, and the apartment no longer felt like home. As he prepared to leave, the apartment fell silent, unnervingly so. Just as he reached for his bag, it happened. The same faint whispers, now coming from within his own walls. "No, it's over. He's gone. You're next." The police had taken the man away, but as Kaito stood frozen in the center of the room, he realized the horror hadn't left. It had only changed its form. And in that moment, Kaito knew. Some things, once invited in, never truly leave. Thank you for joining us for tonight's story, The Missing Tenant. What would you do if the danger followed you home? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, stay vigilant. And remember, some mysteries are better left unsolved.